So let me just start by saying that this is like totally out of my comfort zone. When Pastor Steve asked me to do this, my stomach kind of dropped. There's a reason that I don't pray or tell you to when to stand and sit up and stuff when I'm subbing for worship, because I do not like talking in front of people. So thank you, Pastor Steve, but bear with me. I was thinking about what God has been teaching me lately, or how God's been moving in my life lately. There's a specific instance that kind of came to my mind from recently. The last couple of years, especially the last 6 months, I would say, I've been kind of figuring out that for a lot of my life, I based a lot of my self-worth and my confidence on achievement and affirmation, either getting good grades, scoring points, that kind of thing, or hearing from professors or people I looked up to, like, you're doing a really great job, or that was a really great paper, or you could really do some things with your life, or those kinds of things. Like, those things were a big part of my self-worth and self-confidence. And since I finished up grad school a couple years ago and have entered the workforce, a lot of those same types of achievements and affirmations just haven't been the same. They haven't been as frequent. They're not as concrete. And it's just been kind of, difficult for me, because, it's hard for me to figure out where my self-worth comes from. There was kind of a part of me that believed that, I would come to Central and I'd start working here and I'd become like Lansing's Mother Teresa and it'd be awesome. And the reality has been far from that. I feel like I've been working really, really hard, and there's not a whole lot to show for it, kind of a thing. And so I was talking with a good friend of mine a couple weeks ago, and I was just sharing with her that I just kind of feel like a failure, like I've been working so hard and fighting against so much, and I still, I've been at Central for like a year and a half, and I still don't feel like I have all that much to show for it. I kind of described to her that I felt like I was treading water, like I was working really hard to stay afloat, but I wasn't making any progress. Like, I was working really hard to stay exactly where I was, and that was just really frustrating to me. And so, she was kind of talking about some of those same things, like, in school and whatnot, you have a lot more concrete goals, and you have them every semester, and, that kind of a thing. And so I was sitting there thinking, like, okay, so now she's going to tell me I just need to set more concrete goals, and then that'll help me focus better, and I'll get back on track. But then what she actually said to me really kind of took me by surprise. But she said, what if this treading time is strengthening your muscles for what's ahead to come? And that, right now, what you need to focus on is not setting goals, not achieving more, but just getting to know who you are in Christ. And that just really kind of struck me, and it's definitely not something I've totally figured out yet, but I was really grateful to have somebody who was able to speak that truth in my life. And since then I've been able to not place my identity so much in having to achieve or having to accomplish or having to have people tell me I'm good at things or doing well or that kind of thing, but just trying to rest and listen to who Christ says that I am. All this to say, for those of you out there who are like me and don't like sharing like this, or don't like talking in front of people, like, I challenge some of you who think like, Pastor Steve, when he's looking for people to share testimonies, he's like looking for people who are like good at it or whatever. Like, don't don't fall into that, because someone once told me, you never know who needs to hear your voice. So I try to remember that when things happen, like Pastor Steve comes up to me and asks me to share a testimony. But thank you all for listening.